What should your baby be doing 0 to 12 months? Hi, I'm Heather, Pediatric SLP. In this video, I'll cover ASHA's updated communication milestones, ages 0 to 12 months, and I'll also share some things that you can do at home to help your child's development. ASHA now breaks apart their milestones into 4 age ranges, so if you're wanting to jump ahead to a particular age range, you can do that now. Okay, birth to 3 months. Your baby is alerting to sounds. They're starting to quiet or smile a little when they hear your voice, right? If they're crying and then you walk up to them and speak to them, they may calm a little bit. They're comforted by your voice. And they're making sounds that differ depending on if they're feeling happy or if they're upset. So their cry for hunger might sound a little different than if they're feeling tired. They turn or look towards voices or people talking, and they're starting to make some sounds back and forth with you. They're cooing more. They're making sounds like ooh, ah. They're recognizing loved ones and some common objects. So, for instance, if you're bringing the pacifier to them, they may lean in for it. And they're recognizing that that's something familiar to them. What can you do with your baby at home right now? 1, play peekaboo. Peekaboo. It's a really fun, sweet way to interact with your baby, and it helps develop the understanding of object permanence, that something exists even when you can't see it. It also just helps with emotional bonding and connection with your baby right now. 2, narrate your day. So even if your baby's not responding, they're still absorbing the information. So just as you go about your daily activities, talk about what you're doing. So you're holding your baby, walking to the fridge. Say, I'm walking to the fridge. What do I want to drink? I want juice. Drink juice. It tastes good. That kind of thing. Just talk to them. This will introduce new vocabulary and concepts to your baby. Number 3, mimic your baby's sounds. So if your baby's making some gurgling sounds or some cooing, ooh, ahs, then go ahead and do that right back to them. Look them right in the face and say, ooh, ah, I hear you talking to me. Tell me more. This will encourage your baby to do it again, and you'll have a really sweet back and forth conversation. Next is the 4 to 6 month range. What is your baby doing at this time? They are starting to giggle and laugh more. They're responding to facial expressions, and they're starting to use more vocalizations that have vowels and some consonants, such as or ah, ga, ga. They are vocalizing more during play and vocalizing with objects in their mouths. So they're mouthing things and they're vocalizing at the same time. Ah. They're also starting to follow objects of interest. They'll follow the object with their eyes, and they're blowing raspberries. They're reacting to toys with sound and music and showing more interest in that. What are some things you can do with your 4 to 6 month old at home to help their development? One thing is, because they're so interested in music and sound right now, play with musical toys. There are musical stuffed animals or different little instruments that you could try. And you could also just sing songs to them. Basic Itsy Bitsy Spider, If You're Happy and You Know It. Those are all really fun ones to engage your baby in that kind of play right now. Musical toys will engage your baby's attention and also help progress their auditory senses. Number 2, mimic your baby's sounds. So because your baby's vocalizing more now, you want to encourage even more. So if your baby says, mama, baba, do it back to them. Mama, baba, I hear you talking. I love that. Tell me more. Number 3, sing songs with your babies. So the repetitive rhymes in songs and the melodies will help your baby with memory retention and also language skills, because you're introducing new vocabulary. Number 4, experiment with a variety of different pitches and inflection in your voice. This is especially fun during book reading. So if there's a picture of a child on a swing set, you can say, the girl is swinging. Whee! wee, and have your voice go up to a high pitch. It will show your baby that our voices can demonstrate a variety of emotions. Okay, now your baby is 7 to 9 months old. What are they doing right now? They look at you when you call their name. So you say their name and they'll turn to you, they'll respond, recognizing that that is their name. They will stop and pause for a moment when you say no. They may not actually listen to you or follow that direction yet, but they are showing an understanding by kind of startling to that command. When your baby's feeling upset, they'll look for a loved one. They'll be looking and kind of searching for that adult that they feel safe with. And they're starting to recognize the names of some people and objects that they're familiar with. Your baby is vocalizing more now, stringing together consonant and vowels into long strings. So like ma, 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 ba, ba, ga, ga, ba, 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 kind of having a little conversation or sort of their own language. They are raising their arms up to be picked up. So if they want to be picked up, they put their arms up, which shows their growing understanding that if they lift their arms up, that is a way of communicating what they want. It's a nonverbal communication, and that it can be effective. And your baby is starting to push away unwanted items. So if you put a food item on their tray that they don't want, they don't like, they might just push it right off onto the floor. So as hard as this can be, it's a good thing because it's showing us that your baby has a growing awareness of preference and choice, and this is a development of self-independence. How can you help your 7 to 9 month old at home with their development? Number 1, point to objects and name them during playtime or just daily routines. So point to the milk and say, milk, drink milk, ball, roll ball. It's a great way to introduce new vocabulary and just talk about those things in your environment so that your baby understands each of them has a name. Number 2, expand on your baby's babbling. So mimic what your baby is trying to say, just like I encourage in the previous age ranges, but this time expand on it a little bit. So if you're on a walk with your baby and you happen to see a dog and your baby's doing some babbling or vocalizing, ah, ga, ga, ba, ba, da, da, you might say, oh, ba, da, 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 I hear you. It's a dog, big brown dog. And so just expanding on it a little more will introduce your baby to new vocabulary words. Number 3, teach animal sounds. This is a fun one. There are so many cute toys and books and musical toys even that focus on animal sounds. So what's great about this is that animal sounds are kind of a nice little bridge between babbling, just playing around with sounds, ah, ba, 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 and then actual words, right? So they're right in between, and it's a simple sound combination that has meaning because it is what the animal says. So for instance, a cow says moo, and a sheep says ba, ba, right? And so your baby may be more inclined to try an animal sound because it is a really simple consonant and vowel combination. And these are sort of a stepping stone to more complex words. Okay, let's talk about 10 to 12 months old. Your baby has grown so much and they're doing lots of things. What are they doing? By 10 months old, they're starting to reach for objects. They're also starting to point to different things, wave, show you something, and give you objects. Your baby is starting to imitate and initiate using different gestures to be able to engage in social activities and playing games. So an example of this would be initiating peekaboo or blowing kisses. They're imitating a lot more right now. So they're trying to copy sounds and words that you make. And they're also enjoying dancing. It's so cute to watch your baby move their body to the rhythm of music. They're responding to simple phrases like, go bye-bye, or look at mommy. And they'll look at you, showing an understanding of what that phrase meant. And they're also starting to, when they get closer to the 12-month point, they're starting to say a few first meaningful words. A couple common ones are mama, dada, hi, and bye. Here are some things you can do with your 10 to 12-month-old to help them at home. Number 1, encourage gestures. So when you're saying goodbye to grandma and grandpa, wave. Encourage your baby to wave. Bye-bye, wave like mommy. This will help your baby understand that nonverbal communication is important and that you can use gestures as a way to communicate. Number 2, read to your child every day. This one is so important, I can't emphasize it enough. Reading doesn't even have to look like actual reading, right? At this age, you can read to your baby by just pointing and naming what you see on the pages and describing what's happening in the picture, using playful noises, taking turns, turning the page. It's a great way to strengthen early literacy skills as well as social and emotional development, and it's a great time to bond with your baby. Number 3, sing and dance together. Since your baby is loving music and rhythm right now, turn on some music or sing a familiar song together and move your bodies. It's a really fun way to connect, and through the lyrics in the songs, you're working on new vocabulary words and language development. As you know, babies are changing so quickly, and every little step is a really big deal. If you're feeling concerned at all, reach out to a speech therapist and ask more questions. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.